Mastering emotions requires temperance, the ability to moderate desires and actions with reason. The Stoics taught that emotions arise from judgments, and by mastering our judgments, we master our emotions. Virtue is the highest good, and temperance is a key virtue that guides us to live in harmony with reason and nature. To be temperate is to control desires, restrain impulses, and find balance in pleasure and pain. The wise person does not let emotions dictate actions but instead applies reason to every situation. Epictetus taught that what disturbs us is not events themselves but our judgments about them. If we change our judgments, we change our emotions. The power to do this lies within us. The Stoic sees anger as a temporary madness. It clouds judgment and leads to actions we later regret. To master anger, one must pause and examine its cause. Seneca advised that we should not be slaves to our passions but should rule over them like a king over his kingdom. He wrote that anger does not correct wrongs but multiplies them. The best revenge is not to be like the person who wronged us. Temperance allows us to choose patience over irritation, understanding over resentment. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would meet difficult people, but he should not be surprised or angered by this. Instead, he should meet them with kindness and wisdom. Desire, when unchecked, leads to suffering. The Stoics taught that true freedom comes not from satisfying every want but from needing little. The more we crave, the more we become prisoners of our desires. Seneca wrote that wealth is not about having much but about needing little. A temperate person enjoys what is available without becoming enslaved by it. Pleasure is not inherently bad, but the pursuit of it at the expense of virtue leads to ruin. The wise person takes joy in moderation, finding pleasure in simple things without becoming dependent on them. Pain and hardship are inevitable in life. The Stoics did not seek to eliminate pain but to change their response to it. Epictetus said that we should not pray for things to happen as we wish but rather wish for them to happen as they do. Suffering comes from resisting reality. When we accept what is outside our control, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. Temperance allows us to endure hardship with dignity and grace. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if something is bearable, we should bear it; if it is not, it will soon pass, for all things are fleeting. Fear is a product of the mind. Most of what we fear never comes to pass, and when it does, it is often less terrible than we imagined. The Stoic cultivates courage by facing fears directly and recognizing that external events cannot harm the soul. What truly matters is how we respond. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Temperance teaches us to regulate fear, neither ignoring it nor being controlled by it. The more we train ourselves to accept what is, the less fear holds power over us. The Stoic does not seek external validation. Praise and criticism are opinions, not truths. To be ruled by the approval of others is to surrender one's inner peace. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself not to be swayed by the clapping of hands or the jeers of the crowd. The temperate person remains steady, guided by reason rather than fleeting opinions. Epictetus advised that we should not worry about what others think but focus on what is in our control, our own actions and judgments. When we seek approval, we place our happiness in the hands of others. When we practice temperance, we find it within ourselves. Grief is natural but should not consume us. Loss is part of life, and clinging to what has passed only deepens suffering. The Stoics mourned without being overwhelmed. Seneca wrote that we should grieve as human beings but not to the point of self-destruction. Marcus Aurelius reflected that everything is temporary, and all things return to nature. When we understand the impermanence of life, we appreciate each moment without despairing when it ends. Friendship is a gift, but attachment can lead to suffering. The Stoic values deep connections but remains prepared for loss. Epictetus taught that we should love others as if they are on loan from the universe, knowing they may not always be with us. This does not mean we love less but that we love wisely, without desperation. A temperate person cherishes relationships but does not cling to them in fear. Seneca wrote that true friends help each other become better, grounded in virtue rather than mere pleasure or convenience. Justice is inseparable from temperance. A person who is ruled by impulses cannot be fair or just. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that we are part of a larger whole, and our actions should serve the common good. To act justly, we must first master ourselves. If we are slaves to anger, greed, or envy, we cannot treat others fairly. The temperate person considers the needs of others and seeks balance in all dealings. Epictetus taught that we should not wish harm upon those who wrong us but instead respond with wisdom and dignity. Wisdom is the foundation of temperance. Without wisdom, restraint is blind, and without restraint, wisdom is powerless. Socrates said that true wisdom is knowing how little we know. The Stoic practices humility, recognizing that there is always more to learn. Arrogance blinds, while temperance keeps us open to growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should not be ashamed to change our minds when presented with better evidence. The wise person does not cling to opinions out of pride but seeks truth above all. Life is unpredictable, and the only certainty is change. The Stoics embraced impermanence, understanding that clinging to what is fleeting causes suffering. The river flows, seasons turn, and people come and go. To resist this is to resist nature itself. Temperance helps us navigate change with grace, neither grasping at the past nor fearing the future. Epictetus said that when something is taken from us, we should remember that it was never truly ours. This does not mean we do not value what we have but that we do not build our happiness upon it. The practice of temperance leads to inner peace. When we are no longer ruled by impulses, we gain freedom. The Stoics taught that true happiness does not come from external things but from a well-ordered soul. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he had everything he needed within him. If we cultivate temperance, we can face any situation with clarity and strength. We may not control what happens, but we control how we respond. And in that lies the ultimate power.